Yes, people, what's going on? What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. As always, make sure that you lot are smash up the likes. Make sure that you lot are subscribing to the channel. Make sure that you're following all the man them. Make sure that you're subscribing to all the man them as well. And we've just had man like Rob join in the back, so let me just quickly add him in a second, people. But we've got a big debut today for man like Dubs. He's officially going to be on the panel, people. As long as it's available on Mondays, he's officially part of Blue Diaries now as well. We say first of all, Dubs, you good, bro?
No, listen, as I said off stream, cheers for having me on, man. Been watching this for a while, to be fair. But yeah, man, love for having me on. I think it's a perfect time for me to come on here with the situation, what's going on at Chelsea. Yeah, and I've had a lot of thoughts recently. I just love to share them with you lot and love to get your opinions. Well, I know what Rob's been thinking. Me and him have been back and forth on Twitter the past couple of days, innit?
Yeah.
You know, I love you in it. But yeah, cheers for having me on.
Nah, no stress, my bro, man. And listen, we've got over 40 people here already. As always, people, make sure that you lot are smash up the lights. Rob, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Yeah, man, I'm good. I'm straight. Welcome to Blue Diaries, Dubs. You know, you and I've been on Chels channel for a few shows, and you know, we've had you know, back and forth on Twitter, but you know, it's always love. It's always love.
Yeah, you know, it's all love, innit? You know, I love you.
Welcome. Yeah, man. No, 100%. Listen, at the end of the day, it's football, man. We're gonna have contrasting views. Like, if we all looked at things the same, it'll be boring. You know, that's the whole point of this show. Everyone's got different views, right? And Couch, man, like Couch, bro. Hey, is that a real background or is that a green screen? You're muted.
Muted.
Yeah, you're muted. Look at the background, beautiful, but your mic is not working, bro. What's going on? Yeah, you need to come back in. Man. Try again. Like Timber said to Maresca, try again. Yeah.
Try harder, wouldn't it?
Try harder. Yeah, try harder. Yeah, try harder. You know what I mean? But listen, man, we've got a lot of people in here already. Big up Patrick is saying congrats on 11K as well. That's a lot of people. Yeah, man. And the channel's growing quickly. It's growing quickly, people. By the end of the year, 20K minimum. We need to be there, bro. We need to be there, man. Big up my guy Alexis. It says having a coffee over sea view, listening to Blue Diaries. Hey, big yourself up, man. This guy's always away, you know. I'm telling you, bro. You need to put me on with what you do.
Yeah, me too.
We're working in the same place, man. We've got Winner Serper here as well. Andrew, what are you saying, bro? You good?
Sorry. Yeah. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, my bro, man. Happy New Year. Couch, you there?
I hope so.
Yeah, you're back. Okay. Is that an actual background, yeah? Is that your real background?
Bruh. It's putting something together for you guys, man. What do you mean, man?
Oh, wow, that's dope.
Yeah, you like that? You like that? You like the little couch critic? Got a little something from my son. You see this here? My son gave me this one.
Nice.
I this one. I don't know if you know about this one.
Yeah.
I almost thought that's a good, Chris.
And then this one over here. Another Champions League final.
This
is just the Obia, man. We have to keep the Obia correct, right? Obia upon that one.
And you see all those tops in the back, people. Make sure that you're checking out Jersey FC Soccer Shop, man, because you can find all those tops that Couch has at the back on here. Don CFC at checkout, people, for 20% off. So make sure that you're checking out Jersey FC Soccer Shop. They've sent me some new tops as well. So when they arrive, I'll show you guys as well, so you guys can see what they're looking like. But Happy New Year, lads. You know, it was a different start to the year. You know, obviously Maresca getting sacked before the year even finished. Actually, no, the year started, didn't it? Then he got sacked.
Yep.
Yeah, the year started, then he got sacked. And then obviously we had Man City. And, you know, just from talking to people in the group chats and, you know, looking at so many things in social media, I don't think there was a single Chelsea fan that was confident apart from Rob. You know, Rob was saying that we're gonna get something.
Hey, when Gusto start, we're gonna lose.
Boy, listen, it's something that I did not expect, bro. And when I saw that lineup, I can't lie to you, boys. I was like, yo, 4-0 City here. Because I'm seeing Jorgensen at the back. You know, I'm seeing Chalobah and Badia Shill. I'm seeing Josh at right back. I'm seeing Gusto left back. The attack wasn't bad, in all honesty. Like, I know Neto's been, you know, inconsistent this season, but I thought, okay, maybe we'll score. But in terms of keeping out 2-3 goals, I don't see it. You know what I mean, bro? But we did pretty well. We did pretty well, man. I thought that first half, we kind of just surrendered to them. But then second half, the changes that we made, go into that back three. Actually, for me, tactically outclass Pep. You know what I'm saying? I think if we had better quality in the final third, for me, with Neto and Palmer, we win that game because over the course of 90 minutes, we created the better chances, right? I'll come to you first of all, Dubs. What did you think of the game yesterday, first of all, before we even talk about Maresca?
Yeah. Well, as you touched on it, I had zero confidence going into that game, and people know that. And I expected it to be 3-4-0. And when you look at the way the first half went, it wasn't that we were bad, but it was just a bit pedestrian. It kind of reminded me of like the old Chelsea, like where we just sit back, try hit them. But I feel we got let off. That goal was coming in the end from Reinder's brilliant strike. I don't think Sanchez would have saved that either. But you got to remember, Haaland hit the post. If that's any more inside the post that goes in, they had chances. And I don't think City were particularly great either. Because I'll be honest, I was ready to tweet like at the end, City didn't even have to be great to beat us.
You had that ready.
Yeah, I had that ready. And then, last minute, listen, we were creating more chances in the second half. Good ball in from Gusto. Enzo Fernandez there again. He's really good at getting into the box at the right time. And even though it was a scruffy goal, it's still a goal at the end of the day. The only thing I'm annoyed about is that Arsenal go further in front, innit?
Yeah. That's the main thing, man. But there's still more than enough games to go around, man. They'll drop points. Yeah. They'll drop points. But I'll be real, we had to get something though, Dubs, man. Like, that's one of them games where it's like, bro, if we walked away from it without getting something, you're like, yo, come on, man. Yeah. You know what I mean? No, but Rob, how did you feel?
Yeah, sorry.
Go. Carry on, bro. Carry on.
I was just gonna say, listen, I'm happy with the point. My thing is, I'm keeping the same energy I had going into that game in terms of what's going on above. But we'll get onto that anyway.
No, 100%, man. How about you, Rob? What would you say was the main change for you in that game, man? Because the first half, like I said, we kind of surrendered to them. But in second half, there was a clear change with the tactics. What was it? What was that change for you, bro?
Brought in Delap, a striker, and brought in Andrew Santos in midfield. That is something that I don't think, if Maresca is here, I don't think those two changes. And Hato as well. Granted, he has a shaky moment, but a left-footed on that side, and then he switched Gusto. Again, this is a U21 coach doing this, right? In the second half. And that just shows you, again, I said it after the game. I said, if we had Cucurella, Sanchez, and Caicedo, and even Fofana in this game, I reckon we win this game, right? And so I think for me, going into the game, a lot of people weren't confident, but again, Chelsea with our backs against the wall. I never bet against Chelsea with our backs against the wall. So credit to McFarlane for making the substitution, making the changes, the change in the system and the changes in personnel. Wasn't shy to hook off Esteval for Andrew Santos and to bring more solidity in that midfield and to push Enzo Fernandez a little bit further up. And so that those changes made a good impression and they changed the game, which is what we had been calling all season long. Like, you use the squad, let players come in, the Andrew Santos and the Hato, let them come in and change the game. And even our fullback, you saw Hato overlap, you saw Gusto overlap, which is something that a lot of people have been calling for, to have these players overlap, which is what they are best at. Gusto and Hato are better at overlapping than they are at inverting in midfield. So props up to McFarlane for recognizing with barely a training session, and he came in and did a job, especially in that second half. And so prop to him, man. Good result overall. Yeah.
How about you, Couch, man? How are you feeling about the game overall? Like, what would you say sort of impressed you about the game, if there was anything there, or are you still kind of looking at it as drop points? How you feeling after that result, bro?
No, I went into that game thinking that was a 3-0 easy. Like, let's be real. I didn't think we stood a chance, especially when you saw that back line. Jorgensen. Again, the things that I hate about Chelsea the last little while is we always play these unfamiliar lineups, guys that have not played together at all. So Badia Shield, Jorgensen. We're playing Gusto at left back, and then Achimpong at right back. It seemed to me like that was just the recipe for disaster against a team that's well drilled in the final third, like Man City are. But we caught break, man. Let's just be real. The first half was a bit of a mess. They played with a front six essentially and just put a lot of pressure on our back line. made a few mistakes here and there, and they just didn't capitalize. I think Haaland had one gilt-edged opportunity that he usually takes, hits the post, and from there out, I think the result was down to the adjustments that we made with Callum. Big up Callum, man. Honestly, like U21 manager coming into Etihad against the best manager, some people consider him to be the best of all time, makes the adjustments. It stifles the way they want to play. Like, I don't think they created anything in the second half, really. They had that one opportunity where I think Hato came back and snuffed it out. But overall, I don't remember them having any real threatening opportunities in the second half, and that was basically how we set up. I think that we took away a lot of the spaces that were being afforded to them in the first half, and we took our opportunities. Like we had way more opportunities in the second half to put them to bed. I thought that we probably could have been up 2-1, 3-1 if we would have taken our opportunities.
Yeah.
And Neto was a little bit more dialed in the final third, anything like that, and we would have probably won that game. But, overall, I don't think there was a lot in it, to be honest. Let's just be real. Like, I think that right up until when we equalized, we were all in the mire thinking like, wow, here we go again, Chelsea, this, that, and the other. But, we pulled it out in the very, very dying moments. And, it was joyous to see us actually show the character and resolve to get back into that game and then get something out of it. But, there's going to be, there's more to come from this team. Like, we're going to see different things going forward now under a new manager. And I don't think that we've decided where we're going to finish this season as of yet. I think there's going to be a lot to be told at this point.
No, 100%, bro. Like, yeah, you make a very good point there, Andrew, because what I said in my fan cam yesterday, right, is this needs to be a turning point for the team, bro. This needs to be a serious turning point, because for me, with Maresca, everyone knows my faults by now. Like, I didn't want him to get sacked. I was more in the mind frame of Maresca, fix the fuck up, because you're just overcomplicating things, bro. Yeah. You know what I mean? You're overcomplicating things, and it was so refreshing, Andrew, just to see Gusto overlapping, like Robert said already. It was refreshing to see Santos actually being trusted, getting good enough time on the pitch, not just little 5 minutes at the end of the game. He came on and for me was the best midfielder on the pitch. I think he was even better than Reece. You know what I mean, bro? The way he was winning the ball back, me and Couch was going back and forth in the group. As we was arguing about the amount of times he won it, he was just winning it even more.
Yeah, I remember that argument. He was like, I can't remember. I can't even count how many times he's won it back. It's like, bro, he won it back 2 times.
and then after that, he wins it back like another 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, later on in the game, don't try to referee this differently. Like,
nah, man.
The result, he came at that point in the time, he won the ball back 2 times, which is still a lot considering he only came out at 45. I think he ended at 4, which is quite good, really, really good. So. But
very good.
Don't try this thing like where it was 2. It was 2
nah, bro. You're forgetting that moment in the box. You're forgetting that moment in the box.
No, that came after. That came after.
Nah, it was during that period, bro. It was during that period.
When he went down to his knee and blocked it?
Bro, there was a moment where the ball came in, it got crossed in, and he just got rid of it quickly. And there was even a moment where Cherky tried to go past him in the box.
Yeah, that's that. Yeah.
Irrespective, there were 4 actions in the game that you won the ball.
It's a goal, bro. It's a goal because
Cherky right there. It's a goal.
It's a goal. It's a simple goal there because that's a cutback and that's a clear-cut opportunity, right? What is it for you, Andrew, right now? Like, how are you feeling about this, whole situation with Maresca? And is it just kind of for you? Are you feeling more like, let's just go back to basics with this team? Because I'm sorry, this squad is not as bad as how it's looked for me. That's how I kind of look at it, bro.
Well, we've had these type of performances before just this season, right? Where we will play well against so-called bigger opponents, and then the next opponent up on paper is not so big, and we do not perform well, aka like Arsenal, and then we went to Leeds and shit the bed. Do you know what I mean? It's yesterday, like most of the rest of us, I had 0 expectations yesterday. I still have 0 expectations for the rest of the season with Rosenior coming in. I got to 91 minutes and I was actually quite happy with a 1-0 defeat. I was actually going, okay, not as bad. I do agree with Jay in the first half. I think if they scored the second, I don't think we come back into the game. I think
No.
But for me, not only with the tactical changes, well, it seemed to be that City seemed to think that the second goal would just come, like at any time, to kill off the game. And the further the game got on, we got into it. Their passing became laboured and disorganised and desperate towards the end, where even like they were just trying to hit the long ball as much as possible, and Badiashile was just shielding Haaland out of it. Your main question, though, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this team because it changes and the mentality changes. I don't know what Rosenior's formation is going to play at Chelsea. I don't know what favourite players he's going to have. You know, who's he going to use? I really don't know because I don't watch a lot of Strasbourg and I can't really take Strasbourg in here and put it the same. I will know it should be a clean slate for everyone who wasn't getting minutes, who was getting minutes. So should see this as a clean slate to start again. But it's all about the mentality, right? Like I said before, now you're going to Fulham. Are you going to play the same in the second half, not the first half? Are you going to play the same all game or most of the game to get a clean cut win? I don't know. Like I said, if we're all honest, if we drop points at Fulham, would anyone be shocked?
Nope.
No. But we shouldn't be though, man. I'm sorry. We
shouldn't
need to come out of this. One win in 8, Andrew. I know it was a good result against City, but 1 win in 8, man.
I know that, but we still this team has not got my trust. These players have not got my trust that they will put 2 back-to-back performances with 2 different caliber level talents.
Yeah,
and they have. And they proved that in the past. They don't do that. Maybe back-to-back top caliber teams like Barcelona and Arsenal will put the performance in, but I'm just not 100% sure. And like I said, Rosenior's, like I said, my expectations are very low. So that's for the rest of the season. So.
Yeah, I think a lot. Listen, you make a lot of fair points because even with me, Andrew, like I don't trust this team right now. I predicted that we'd draw against Bournemouth. I predicted that City would beat us 4-0. Right, so you make a lot of good points there. Like you can't put trust in a team who haven't been showing any real confidence on the pitch, and they are one of the most wasteful teams. They're a team who score first, but then end up dropping points and losing games. You know what I mean? We've dropped so many points from winning positions, Dubs. It's ridiculous, right? But listen, me and you have never really spoken about Maresca and obviously the whole situation right now. I know your stance on Blueco. You want them out. You want them gone. Obviously, you're a big advocate for that as well. But let's talk about Maresca first, bro. Like, how are you feeling since he's left the club? Did you want him to leave? And how are you feeling going forward about the guy that we're about to appoint? Well, Matisse. It looks like he's about to come in.
I'm going to be honest. With Maresca himself, I didn't want him to leave. Don't get me wrong. My thing with this whole situation, I'm not losing sleep over the fact that Maresca himself has left Chelsea Football Club because there are better managers out there. And he's showing that he can't. There are flaws in his management. But listen, he done great for us to get 2 trophies in his first season, to get us back into the Champions League without even the 5th place. Like, you have to give him respect for that. My main issue with the whole situation is, and it's been the story of the club, everything they do is either sideways or a downgrade, whether it be transfers or players or whether it be a manager. When they sat Tuchel, they brought in Graham Potter. When Pochettino left, they brought in Enzo Maresca. Let's be honest, at the time, none of us were sure how well he'd do. Yes, he done well in his first season, but all of us were a bit like, well, I can't speak for you guys, but I'm sure a lot of people were like, he's a championship manager. He's had 1 season. Yes, he won the league with Leicester, but Leicester were one of the best teams. So Maresca himself leaving isn't the issue for me. Liam Rosenior, like, who's had how many seasons at whole?
I'm
not sure how long he was there for. I think he was there for 2 years.
Yeah, 2 years, and then he's had a season and a half at Strasbourg.
Yeah, so 2 years at Hull, and then a year and a half at Strasbourg, and now he's going to be the manager at Chelsea Football Club. That's for me where I have the issue. And this is nothing against Liam Rosenior. I don't have any animosity towards him because, of course, he's going to take the job. Like, why wouldn't he? But it's just from upstairs, from them deciding on this. For me, it makes sense. And they've had this plan, man. Like, I knew this was coming. If things went left with Maresca, they were always going to bring this guy in because he's at Strasbourg. So they were waiting. In my opinion, the way I see it, they were waiting to get rid of Maresca so they can bring this guy in. That's just the way I see it.
So how do you feel about, there's been a lot of people that have been saying Maresca kind of, he played us. He kind of, used us as a way to kind of, he launched out in the media like Amarim to kind of get his way out. And obviously he's looking at the City job. How do you feel about that, Dubs? Do you feel like he kind of sort of did that deliberately to leave the club? Like, how do you feel about that side of things with Maresca, man?
I think, listen, I think when he was saying them quotes, I instantly thought there's no smoke without fire. Then obviously when he said them quotes, then we're hearing this stuff about if Pep leaves and City are looking at Maresca to be a candidate. I started to piece it all together. Obviously, maybe know about this, and that's why he's saying this. Maybe he's expecting to get sacked, to get the sack or to leave. So for me, it's like, if we're gonna have, I mean, I'm not fuming at Maresca for doing that, but at the same time, it's like, well, if you're doing that, if you're flirting with the idea of Manchester City, then it's like clearly your head's elsewhere. So then maybe it is the best decision for you to leave the club. But as I say, my issue is I know that these guys aren't going to get an upgrade, and from what it looks like, they're not.
What's your take on that, Rob? Do you feel like Maresca kind of, he did this deliberately and he took his eye off the ball? Because I'll be honest with you, everyone knows how much I've criticized him this year, and I like Maresca a lot. I'm one of the few guys, Dubs, that was saying, yo, this guy's going to be good for Chelsea. When people were calling him a championship coach, I said, bro, like, he'll be better than Poch. He's already better than Poch. I was being called delusional again. So I've been an advocate for Maresca, which is why I feel so disappointed with how he's been this season, because he's been so out of character, right? He's been so out of character, Rob. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I've been saying it for a long time, all season, that for me, Maresca has been the biggest culprit of why we've underperformed. And I know Tosin has had his struggle, Trevor has had his struggles, our attackers had their struggle. But for me, Maresca has been the biggest culprit of why we've dropped so many points, because we haven't had a single bar. Maybe Wolves and West Ham, spoke about it with Couch the other day. I can't remember a full comprehensive 90 minutes that Chelsea has had against the smaller oppositions. Like we'll turn up for 90 minutes against Barcelona, against Arsenal, against Liverpool, Spurs, but there isn't a comprehensive 90 minutes from even Karabakh. We couldn't, even Lincoln City, we couldn't strung together a comprehensive 90 minutes. And I've been saying there's like Maresca need to get his mojo back. Like, I consider him one of the best tacticians around in Europe. And he was one of those. I was coming into the season thinking every weekend I will be going into a game week thinking my manager is gonna outcoach whoever manager is in the other dugouts. And this season that hasn't been the case. He's been outcoached by lesser coaches, and he's outcoached the better coaches. He's outcoached the Barca coach, the Artetas, the Slot. But he's getting outcoached by the Sunderland manager. He's getting outcoached in the first half against Ange Postecoglou. He's getting outcoached by the Leeds manager. It's like at some point, and now you come to realize, and one of the issues that we've spoken about is his usage of the squad. Like I put on Twitter, said Maresca had us believe that these players were draws. Like Andre Santos wasn't good enough, or Hato wasn't good enough, or Delap wasn't good enough. Like all these players, Maresca had us believe none of them are good enough. Like one game away since Maresca's left, and now we look at it like, oh, Jorgensen wasn't bad. Oh, Andre Santos actually quite good. Hato, decent. Delap, best player, best game in the Chelsea shirt. There's no, for me, it's not a coincidence. And so, whether it's checked out, and I said this before, I said Maresca this season looks to me like he's more interested in proving points than winning matches. He was more interested in proving points and elevating his status in the game more than winning. And I don't think there's many games where, bar the big games, where I went in and when I said Maresca absolutely coached the win. You can pick up the United, plenty of games. United, Brighton, Burnley, both Bournemouth games, Atalanta, each and every one, just like he's not coaching wins like we are used to, like we got accustomed to toward the latter part of last season and the Club World Cup. So for me, and players obviously they had they take some responsibility, but for me, the biggest culprit for us this season where we are has been Maresca. And for a U21 manager to come in and walk in and go against Pep Guardiola and utilize his squad and walk out with a point where, according to people, our squad got worse and Man City's squad got better. And last season, with a better squad that Chelsea had and a worse Man City squad, Maresca got beat 3-1, right, at the Etihad. McFarlane walks in with
that game, yeah, the way that we were set up.
The line was and Kunku left wing in the first game of the season against Man City. It's like I'm just for me he was it. Maresca has been for me the biggest culprit for us this season, and I didn't want him sacked, but as soon as I learned that he's been talking to Man City, I'm like, why did the director sack him the moment they figure out he had the first talk in October? For me, he should have been gone then. That for me is a criminal, and I can't believe Chelsea fans are actually defending. Oh no, if the club can have contingency plan, so can the manager. I would understand if you're talking to Real Madrid or Bayern Munich, not to my rival. Like I don't like a Real Madrid coach is not talking to Barcelona or Atletico Madrid about the coaching vacancy. It's not happening, right? So why would I go come here and be okay with my coach go and having talks while coaching Chelsea, to a rival that we supposed to compete with, and doing it 3 months after winning the Club World Cup? This is not a year later. This is 3 months. Like from July,
I was doing it as well.
You holding talks with City. Why? Because they didn't get you a center back. That's it. Yeah, for me, he should have been gone then. I'm really not all that fast that he's gone.
I mean, you say that's it.
His head wasn't here.
The centre back was a big thing that we needed, though. To be fair,
and I agree with him on that. I agree with him on that. Right? Let me read Assad's super chat. It says, day one, I called him a fraud. He is his football is awful. And then we've got another one here from C to the A. It says, I miss when Rob used to back his managers over the owners. Where did the old Rob go? And I forgot another one.
I would love to meet that old Rob.
I don't remember that, Rob. I don't think I knew that, Rob.
I don't think I knew that, Rob, either.
Same here, bro. I don't know what Rob you're talking about there. But big got Lewis in the chat as well. I can see Javier here as well. Big got Javier every single time. But let me come to you, Couch, because listen, it looks like you don't really agree with what Rob's been saying there, bro. What's your take on people that feel like Maresca didn't use the squad the best way that he could this season, right? Because there's a lot of people that feel like the squad should have been playing a lot better than this, man. And I'll be honest with you, this squad should not be 13 points behind Villa. It should not be 13 points behind Villa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, loaded question, but I would say first and foremost, we have to get the facts right about what happened with Maresca. In his contract, it is decreed that if he has an offer from another club, or if he gets any word from another club, he has to let the club know that has occurred, and he did that in October. That's the first bit about it. Second bit about it is, he asked for security. He wanted to feel like he was safe. So he was asking for a bumper in his contract, knowing now that there's interest from other clubs, right? So at that point, when you've already said to the manager that you're not giving him that bumper, you've already agreed that you're not going to carry on with this guy. So for me, this is now the sporting directors have to say, okay, fine. Clearly, this is not going to be a long-term appointment at this point in time because he's asking for a bumper and we're not giving it to him. So what is the contingency plan? What are we doing now to make sure that we're not left wanting in like 6 months or whatever it may be? I don't know if this is honestly, I'm nothing against Liam Rosenior or anything like that, but for everything that we've been told about this guy and what we've seen right now, it just doesn't seem like an astute appointment. Like it just doesn't to me. Like I'm not sure about that. Where Chelsea are right now, we're in the Champions League. They're going to throw this guy to the wolves. Like, let's just be real. We're competing for top 4. This guy's never been in the Premier League before. He has no idea what it means to manage in the Premier League. He has no idea what it means to be in the Champions League. All of that stuff. They're just basically throwing this guy to the wolves. And on top of that, the problem that I have with it is that he's not even coming in on an interim because they're not going to rob Strasbourg of their season to give Rosenior an interim tag. This is a long-term appointment. And again, even like what Dubes is saying, like I agree. Like this, it seems like every move that this ownership makes is either lateral or downwards. There's no building. And granted, we can say all we want. Like I'm jumping around a bit, but there's a couple things I just want to get off my head, and then we'll get into.
Yeah, no, get it all out, bro. You're spitting facts. Go on.
Like, the other piece too is like, yeah, we all continue to ignore this, right? That Maresca wanted a center back, and he wanted this, and he wanted that. He had about 8 of them on his roster, as is, right? He put 2 in the reserves. Obviously not good enough, but let's not forget that we have restrictions with UEFA still. That's going to be again put into place next year. So there was no just going out and getting another center back. You had to try and find internal solutions at this point in time. Now, I don't necessarily fault Maresca for saying that this is what we have to do. I need somebody, but you have to know what you're dealing with right now. It's clear that we couldn't bring in another center back unless we sold a couple, and he couldn't do that. We couldn't sell anyone. Nobody wants Disasi. Nobody wants Badia Shield. So, while I don't necessarily agree with that,
Badia Shield was injured. Badia Shield was injured at the time. Disasi was finished.
Nobody wanted him. Let's be real, okay? And and like the issue that with the sporting directors, and the reason why I don't think that they're exempt from this whole thing, like Dubes was saying, is, we're in this predicament because of the decisions they made 2-3 years ago, buying and buying and buying and buying without any real recourse. So we can say that, UEFA hamstrung us. We couldn't sell any hotels, whatever. But you put us into this situation with these poor purchases and always having to recycle the squad, turn it over because we don't have we're not seeing the quality in the players that you're buying, right? So that's part of it. And to the point of where do we go from here, and Maresca and all this stuff. I don't necessarily think that like Maresca was wrong in what he did. I just don't necessarily think that, if you don't want to be at Chelsea, then don't be at Chelsea. It's just that simple. I agree with Rob on that, like 100%. Like if your head's not here, this is too high of an intensity job to just be like going through the motions on it, right? So
I'm telling you, he was going through the motions.
I just feel like like in the pressers, the things that we're hearing in the pressers just led me to believe that he's not really 100% there. And he's well within his right to feel that way. But let's just not forget that he have a job to do as a manager of Chelsea Football Club. There's big responsibility that comes with that, right? Let's not also ignore the fact that with the playing stuff, you're saying, well, did he use it correctly? No, I've already said to you multitude of times. I gave him grace last year at this time because I was like, this is a new manager. He hasn't really been through a Christmas period before. We had guys like Nkunku, who at the time we were thinking was one of our better finishers, not getting any time on the pitch. We had all sorts of players that were just being underutilized by this manager. And I was like, well, he's just trying to figure it out. He's trying to get these guys, up to grips with what he wants to do as a manager. Like it's a new team. He has to get them to understand, buy into his philosophy. Maybe you have to play with a smaller playing staff just to get it all drilled in. But I'm not giving him that bly this year. I'm just not giving it to him. Like, you have to use the squad. We saw last year that when you do not rotate the squad, not only do you compound the situation with injuries, but you also compound the situation because you get guys that are jaded and not ready to play every 3 days. Like, these are young players. They haven't done that before. This is a very new thing for these players. Like at youth football, you're not playing every 3 days. So jadedness comes into it all the time, right? So the other thing, I blame him for that, like not rotating the squad, and it's not about them not being good enough. It's just them not trusting him not trusting them enough to put them in situations where we must win. But the other side to that too, and this is probably the last thing I'm going to say on it, is I also faulted him for how he rotated the squad. There was no sort of staggered approach to the rotation. Exactly. This guy was just throwing 4 or 5 guys into a new lineup and expecting them to perform. And I had a problem with that. I was like, listen, every manager knows that when you're trying to rotate the squad, you don't throw 4 or 5 people that have not played together before 100% into a situation like that. You stagger the rotations. You give guys, maybe bring in 2 guys here, there, 2 guys there, and stagger the rotation so that people get up to speed with what it is they're doing within a comfortable lineup. You're not changing it and then making people feel unfamiliar and not knowing exactly what they want to do on the pitch, right? What you want to do. And I think that he just did that poorly. His his management of the squad as a whole was not very good.
Exactly.
And,
exactly.
Unfortunately,
yep.
I liked his football. I thought that he was decent football wise. I liked his football, and I thought that he was one of the better tacticians in the game. But nah, man, rotation wise, you got to be better than that when you're at Chelsea.
It's got to be way better, Andrew. Let me come to you, Andrew, now, yeah, because you're spot on when you say that, Couch, right, about the rotation. Because look, there's been contradictory reports on both sides. Because one side, Maresca saying, I rotated the squad, they told me to rotate. They're saying he didn't rotate the squad properly. They say Maresca saying that they were getting involved with the lineups, the people he had to pick. The Chelsea are saying that it wasn't so much to do with the lineups, it was more to do with the medical team telling him to manage certain players' minutes, which I've got no problem with, bro. Like, Maresca's not a doctor, yeah? We've got a medical team for a reason. We can't have it both ways. We can't say, Maresca's helped Reece to stay fit. Maresca's helped the likes of Neto to stay fit. He's helping the likes of Fofana to stay fit right now. And then say, the medical team should have been getting involved in the lineups. That's their job, yeah? If someone's just come back from an injury or they need to be managed because they're a biscuit, the medical team are the guys that are telling you, bro, listen, this guy can only play 60 minutes. This guy can only play 90 minutes. You have to listen to them. Because if you don't and they get injured, Andrew, yeah, that is now a problem for the team. Because Reece, without Reece this season, without his leadership, without his quality, yeah, without some of the goals he scored, some of the assists that he's got, we're in a worse position, bro. In a worse position. So when I'm seeing man talking about, complaining about the medical team, saying who should get what minutes and that, I'm like, I don't know what world you lot live in, bro. That's their job. That's what they're meant to be doing. That's good, right? But my thing, Andrew, yeah, is like, when I'm looking at Liam coming in, right? Because I think he's going to come in. How are you feeling about him as an appointment? Do you think it's going to be a positive appointment for the squad? Because they clearly want someone who's going to just come in and coach what they've bought, right? And Maresca, when he came in at the beginning, it sounded like he was very happy to do that. But obviously, after winning the Club World Cup and, winning the Conference League and getting top 4, I agree with the fact that he didn't get backed in the summer, and I hate that. But when the squad is there, bro, you've got to lock in. Do you feel like Liam will be a bit different in terms of how he's managing the squad? Do you think he'll be a little bit more, okay, I'm here to do a job. Let me get the best out of these players. Do you feel like he'll be a bit better in that sense, if that makes sense?
I've no clue. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't watch his management at Strasbourg. It's a different league. You know what I mean? I don't know how the players are going to receive him. Let me ask you then. What changes do you want to see from the squad? Because we've spoken about a lot of things that that Maresca should have been doing. We spoke about a lot of things that Maresca should have been doing differently. And for me, Andrew, I feel like the team kind of went stale. What changes do you want to see going forward that will help the squad? I don't want to see touchline wingers. I don't think it works in this modern day football unless you support them. That's what I did like. I mean, I don't agree with Rob that suddenly all the players played better yesterday because you see Maresca coach performances against big clubs and the players play well that don't usually play well. So I don't really take that into anything. But yeah, no touchline wingers because I don't, like I say, I just don't think they work that well, and they're so far away from the striker. It's not that. I keep Enzo further up like he was yesterday. If you're going to play him, don't really want him back a lot deeper because I don't think he can affect the game that much. And I'd really like him to try and stick to some partnerships on the pitch a bit more. Centre back, left side especially. I know he didn't play well yesterday, but I do feel like Neto and Cucurella have a better understanding on the left than Cucurella of anyone else on the left. And maybe I don't think Palmer likes to play as a number 10. Do you know what I mean? As a sole number 10. As that, if you're on the football pitch and you put him in the 10 area, he doesn't really like stay there a lot. Do you know what I mean? He drifts to the right.
He always drifts to the right.
Drifts to the right.
Yeah.
That's something to do. Is he going to change formation? Because I keep hearing he plays a 3 at the back at Strasbourg or something like that. Do you know what I mean? And I do think that Maresca could have used the squad a bit more. But then again, I think some of this squad is bang average. So I think he's dealt with the cards that he has. You know, I really, that's something I don't know. That's why my expectations of him are so low that I'm not really going to criticise him because I have no idea what type of a manager he is and coach. And I don't think it's fair to really criticise him. His coach is right. They've thrown him to the lions then, especially this month. This month is 4 competitions, you know, and to throw him in like this is mad. And by the way, we talk about Maresca talking to other clubs. We talked to De Zerbi in the summer, so you can't have it both ways. Do you know what I mean? So you know what I mean. Sorry, Rob, you can't have it both ways. I know you're all for the sporting directors and everything, but you can't have it both ways, Rob. You can't criticise Maresca for talking to someone and then not criticise us for talking to another manager.
You okay with Maresca talking to Man City? You okay with that?
Well, I don't. Well, he alerted us. Are you okay with us talking to
No. Yeah, alerting. That's a requirement of his contract.
Are you okay with us talking to De Zerbi?
Yes, Man City is talking to Maresca right now.
So you're a hypocrite.
No. It's not like no. Clubs have contingency plans all the time. Man City are preparing one.
Managers talk to other clubs all the time. So it's a part of football. So we move on. Like I said,
we'll disagree on that one. I'm never accepting.
It is a bit hypocritical, though. It is a bit hypocritical.
No, it's not.
I've got no problem, Rob. I've got no problem with Maresca telling us, saying, "Yo, City have approached me." My problem is what you do after you've got that information. Yeah, he took his eye off the ball.
Yeah.
He took his eye off the ball. That's what it is for me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's fine. But when it comes to Rosenior, it's like, this is where, because I think the players are getting off the hook a lot in this situation. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, seems we're all on Maresca and even on the sporting directors, which is fine. But some of these players, that's why this season I'm not using their age as an excuse, because there's 24, 25, 26, 27, 28-year-olds in this squad. And some of them, like, I know Reece is like young 26, but he's like in his 7th, 8th season now. Do you know what I mean? As much as I praise him for, and it's like they're getting off the hook. So I really don't know. It's dependent. They need to buy into his philosophy, I suppose. And I don't know if he's going to make wholesale changes to start off with, because it's such a busy month. Do you know what I mean? It's such a busy month. We're playing every 3 or 4 days in this month alone, in all different competitions. You know, so it be. Like I said, it's all question marks at this point with him.
100%.
To be fair,
as long as he doesn't change his, like, you know, starts wearing turtlenecks and, you know, start wearing the Chelsea bling like certain Mr. Potter did when he came to town. Do you know what I mean? But I'll listen. I won't be too harsh on him because I don't expect a lot. So.
Let me come to you, Dubs. Yeah, like, because this is something which is quite popular right now in terms of the shape. This is something that I kept begging for Maresca to do. You know what I mean, bro? It's very similar to what I was saying about Poch. I kept saying, bro, Poch, I don't want you out right now. Just please fix up. And it's the same thing as Maresca. I kept saying, bro, please go to a 4-3-3, pack out that midfield. Yeah. If Caicedo's not there, Santos has to be in there with Reece and Enzo in there as well, because I think it will help Enzo out. Palmer on the right as well with an overlapping fullback. Just try something different, because this Garnacho Neto thing, it just wasn't it. You know what I'm saying, bro? What's your take on the shape going forward, bro? Do you think it should be more like a 4-3-3 going forward for now?
Yeah, do you know what it is? My issue isn't necessarily the shape. I mean, it's part of the issue, but my main issue is what the players actually execute on the pitch. Like the amount of times we've seen under Maresca, we get to the final third, we're actually on the edge of the box, and they turn around and go, and it ends up back at Sanchez or Jorgensen, whoever's in goal. Yeah. Sometimes I just think that Maresca instructs them to be way too negative, and as a result, we do create chances, but we just don't take them. That's the issue. Even Neto, I know obviously Maresca wasn't in charge yesterday. Like sometimes he'd get the ball at the edge of the box and he'd turn around. And it's like, so the shape, I feel like if we were to shift to a 4-3-3, it would necessarily help. But I also think we need that instruction from Liam, if he is going to be the one that's hired, to like, just don't be as negative. You don't always have to go to the defense, because what then that does do is it invites pressure, invites the opposition to come, and our players they're good on the ball, but why like play with fire? That's just the way I see it. Like keep the ball in the final third as much as you can, create as many chances as you can. If you miss, you miss. Is what it is. Like we're missing chances anyway.
Yeah, but is it? So it sounds like it's a personnel thing for you then.
Well, no, I think the fact that so many players were doing it, you have to question Maresca on it, because it wasn't just Neto. Like even Palmer sometimes does it. The only player I'd say that doesn't do it when he plays is Esteval. He actually takes on his man. Like he doesn't see the man, and he actually takes on his man. Neto will turn back. Even Gittin sometimes turn back. Garnacho turns back. João Pedro will hold on to the ball. He'll get the ball and he'll be facing backwards, like rather than looking forward to actually progress the ball. So I just think on that front, we have the capacity to be a bit more positive. Yes, we can all criticize the squad, and I think it's far from good enough. But I think we also have the capacity to go forward and get even more goals than the goals we're scoring. Because funny enough, goal scoring at the moment isn't actually the issue in the team. People say it's a defense, which I agree with. But imagine if we're more progressive. Imagine we're more like progressive going forward. Imagine how many goals we'd have.
I think, bro. I think our goal scoring has been a bit of an issue recently. I'll be honest with you, bro. I think you look at the game against Newcastle, Garnacho. The amount of times this guy could have buried something. Yeah, you're talking about Villa in that game. In the first half, we should have been at least 2 goals up, right? Like goal scoring recently has been a bit of a problem. You know what I mean? Like we're getting into key areas, and in the likes of Neto, the likes of Garnacho, they break it down. Yeah. And one thing about this team, Dubs, yeah, like both of our wingers, you're so right when you say about Neto just going backwards. Garnacho does the same thing. Yeah. I've been saying to these lot on the show, we don't really win that many penalties anymore because we've got wingers that don't like to attack the box. Yeah. They don't like to attack the box, bro. Now, I know Madueke wasn't everyone's cup of tea. Obviously, for me, I'd rather Esteval over Madueke every day of the week, of course, right? But even if you watched this game the other day, one thing that he does really well was attacking the box. Neto and Garnacho, they dance around the box, yeah? They dance around the box. They don't want to attack the box, bro. They get there, they cut back, they cross it, you know? So even with the chance creation, I'm not really seeing our striker really being created for, yeah? I don't really see many clear-cut opportunities where it's just like a simple cutback there and you know, a striker has a shot on goal. I don't really see that. And that's a big reason why is because of the quality of wingers that we currently have been using in this team. That pairing, Rob, I don't want to be seeing that pairing anymore of Garnacho and Neto, bro. Yeah? I'd rather now until the end of the season, Neto Esteval, Palmer Esteval, yeah? Gittins Esteval. But Garnacho and Neto together, yo, that pairing, I'm sorry, bro. We tried it once too often and it just doesn't work. It does not work, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. To your point, you know, the one time a winger took on his man and attacked the box, Esteval won the penalty against Bournemouth. But I think overall, we have wingers that we bought because they are good at making runs in behind. But then, you know, the manager plays them at being 1v1s and try to take on, you know, two or three defenders at a time, and then you don't help them with overlapping fullbacks. And that for me is just, you know, being set up to fail. You know, you have to know the strength of your team. And if you see, you know, Garnacho and Neto are stronger as runners in behind, then set up your team to be runners in behind. If you see your team, you want to see your team is to have touchdown wingers and to have your wingers beat the men 1v1 and, you know, and without you having to overlap, then you play the better dribbler, which is Esteval and maybe Gittins, who are the better 1v1 dribblers. And so for me, that's also one of the things that was puzzling for me this season with Maresca. Like, you know, Neto and Garnacho are not obviously. You know, Maresca thought those are his 2 best wingers, right? And so you know the strength is not beating the men 1v1, is running in behind and making, you know, attacking the box. But then you don't overlap fullbacks on their sides. That's just for me did not make sense whatsoever. But you know, as far as Rosenior is concerned, I mean, I don't think, again, in today's game, I think a lot of this is maybe the Pep influence. A lot of even the young managers are somewhat astute tactically, right? Not everybody's the best, but you can see even the Brentford manager, he was a set piece coach. As soon as he became a manager, he's actually, you watch Brentford and you look at like, this guy is actually a good tactical manager, right? So for me, what I've liked about Rosenior has been his man management and how he's improved players, right? And I know it's a French league, but you can see player after player, like when Diego Moreira went over there, he was absolutely crap. And now he's one of the best players in the league. Andre Santos improved under him. Emega improved under him. Sarr improved under him. You know, you have even Doué, who we thought what are we doing buying right back then do? We should buy the winger. Now he's being called up for AFCON at Ivory Coast and playing games over there. So for me, like even Barco, his improvement, for God's sake, Chilwell is playing football decently again. And so his improvement of players is what I'm looking forward to, especially with the young players that we have. You know, tactically, maybe, you know, sometimes he will adapt, maybe play back 3, back 4, and however, you know, the case may be. But for me, what has impressed me the most about him is his man management. The fact he actually uses his squad. Like he will start one game, he will start in Cinso, the next game he will start.
He calls out the squad. He calls out as well. I thought the quote what he said about Payers and Enciso and that, bro. He crashed it on these guys because people are like, oh, it doesn't really couch. You know, one thing that kind of sort of worries me about him is the fact that, you know, how are you going to deal with the pressure, the intangibles of managing such a big club? Yeah. Because one thing about Rosenior, bro, like he understands the game. I used to watch a thing called The Debate a few years ago. It's not on Sky Sports anymore, right? But he used to be on there like every week on The Debate. And a lot of things he used to say, yeah, I used to be like, yo, this guy, like, he knows his stuff, yeah? Because I remember him when he used to play for like Hull and whatnot in the Prem, right? But the main thing that I'm concerned about, Couch, is just the intangibles. And that's why I was saying midday live earlier. He needs to come in and, you know, get these guys enjoying their football again, right? So Rob makes a very good point there when he's talking about, you know, getting his arm around a lot of these players. Players like Gittins, for example. When Gittins is about to come on, or if he's about to start the game, the instruction for Gittins should always be, every time you get the ball, Gittins, I want you to make it hell for that fullback. Yeah? You're going to lose the ball a couple times, no problem. But the main thing I want you to be doing is running at that fullback. Boys, keep giving them the ball. Enzo, when you're in the left half space, you keep giving them the ball, right? Do you feel like that's what this team needs now, Couch? They need a manager that's going to put their arm around them. Because you kind of spoke about how Maresca neglected the squad. He wasn't really using the squad. It's now time for a manager to kind of uplift the squad. Do you think that will help him in terms of kind of getting these results? Because we need to get out of this rut, man.
Yeah, I don't know. There's a lot there. That's a weighted question again. And to be honest, there's so much that comes with it, right? Like, yeah, like, first of all, I firmly believe, and you guys can believe me or agree with me or not, but there are people within the squad right now that have more stature than Rosenior. They're bigger names than Rosenior. So to win those players over, get them on their side is going to be a very difficult task. This guy hasn't done anything in football yet, like nothing. When we're comparing what he's doing at like in the French league at Strasbourg, that's a science project to me. Like he can do whatever he wants there, and you know, like yeah, he's doing well. They're moving up the table and stuff like that, managing Blueco. To me, that just looks like a science project. Like he comes to the Premier League. You're not going to be given the space to make mistakes as you are in France. You're just not, you know. So for me, the squad right now needs stability. Like we're talking about still the youngest playing staff in the Premier League, and this guy, you know, and you know, we've had like 4 managers in the last like 4 years, 4 or 5 managers, something like that. So what these young players need right now is stability first and foremost. Whether or not we can get that from this Rosenior guy, somebody that can like get his message across. I don't know if he's a good communicator. I saw some of his interviews.
He is.
For the camera, I've seen some of his interviews for the camera. I don't know. It seemed kind of like very PE coach to me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna be real. It did feel like that to me, but you know, maybe that's for the camera. Maybe he does that for the camera. Maybe when he's, you know, in front of the squad and he's talking to them man to man, it's a different thing altogether, right? We'll see. But the most important thing that I think that he needs to do right now is win the squad over by instilling up a style of play that they can all buy into and they can see the results on. So it's just winning. That's all that's going to come down to. Can he win? And I don't know. Like we'll see. I'm not optimistic. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is a really, really tough job. Really tough job that they've given him right now, and it's gonna be hard to really balance it. Just given the fact that, like, you know, there's a lot of personalities in that dressing room right now, or young ego, all that stuff.
I mean, Joey's got a question. He says, "What egos do we really have at this club? Who would you kind of?"
I would say that Cole Palmer is certainly an ego. I would say that Garnacho's an ego. Not that he's a big personality in the squad, but we certainly have players. Most top footballers have egos. Let's just be real. Like they want to be playing, and like you don't get to that level by not having something about you that that is that way. But I wouldn't say that we have any sort of like hegemony in the dressing room where guys are just like banding against managers and stuff like that. But I can guarantee you, we have players in that dressing room that certainly carry more football gravitas, than the manager right now. Let's just be real about it. We got guys that have won big trophies. We've got guys that have played in Enzo Fernandez, another one, as Ten says there. Like these are ego-driven footballers, and we just got to deal with it.
Yeah, no, I get it, Andrew. But listen, everything that Couch has said there, I can't even really, defend, Liam coming in because he's got fair points. All these concerns. There's a lot of Chelsea fans right now who are concerned about it. They're getting Potter vibes from it. But at the same time, a lot of people were saying this about Maresca before he came in as well, and he did pretty well, and I've been very disappointed by him this season. But let's talk about Palmer, Andrew, because he seems to be a huge talking point at the minute. I'm seeing a lot of Chelsea fans crashing it right now. Obviously, the rivals have been crashing it for a while. What's going on with him right now for you, bro? Is it the fitness? Is it just he looks checked out? Like, what is it for you, bro?
I don't know. Is it like I thought he was better? I thought he was marginally better in the second half than he was the first half. I thought the first half he was atrocious with his passing, giving away the ball, especially in our own half, trying to do some outside flicky passes or something like that. Just when the straightforward pass was on there. I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's I keep going back to that quote with the Conference League final in the press conference. When they asked him, when he just said, "I was tired of passing it backwards and sideways, and I just decided to do that." I don't know whether he was one of the ones that were tired of the tactics, maybe, or maybe the players around him like passing it backwards. I mean, I know we'll probably talk about him, but I got to say, when I saw Neto in the first half dribbling and he was looking backwards, I just went, "What's the point?" You know what I mean? If I'm like, I can see him sometimes questioning whether to pass to people or not. Do you know what I mean? Like, are they going to lose the ball? What's the point? I'm not surrounded by quality. And he's right. He's not surrounded by quality. But then in his own performance, it's not been good enough. You know what I mean? His own performance has not been good enough since he's come back. You can say...
What's not been good enough for you? What would you say? Like, what aspect of his game?
I think he's not choosing. He's always trying to find a difficult option more than an easy option, right? He's always like sometimes a simple pass is good enough, right? Especially in your own half when you're trying to break out, you're trying to get the ball forward. Like yesterday, there's so many times we got the ball and he was on like the right hand side, and he could have passed it simple, but he just tried to pass it forward and it went to a Man City player or stuff like that. Yeah. Well, yesterday he was. I thought the second half he was a bit better, something like that, but. I see it since he's been back. It's been his performances have been very frustrating.
That's the right word. That's the right word. Frustrating.
When he's been bought off, I totally understand why Maresca bought him off, whether it's for fitness reasons or not, because he's not been good. You know what I mean? When he came off against Bournemouth, he wasn't good. Do you know what I mean? Like he was, actually, I thought we were better when he came off against Bournemouth. I thought we looked better when he came off because we didn't do anything in that second half before he went off as an attacking threat, and then when he went off, but I think it also stemmed to. I don't think he likes being pigeonholed as a central number 10 like that. Do you know what I mean? Like having like in that area. I think he wants to drift out to the right, drift back in like under Poch when he used to do that. Do you know what I mean? And also, like I said, I don't think some of the relationships that he has with some of the players up there aren't there. Like when Neto plays on the right, there's no relationship with Neto on the right. That's all. Do you know what I mean?
Nothing. There's zero connection.
I think.
He has to be better though. Do you know what I mean? You can't just look at others around him as if he wants all the plaudits and all the awards and saying he's the best player. He has to show it. Do you know what I mean? He's now been back. Yeah. He's been back for a while now. He's played more minutes, and I expect him to be better now, and it's not an age thing with him anymore because now he's in what, 3rd season with us. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he should be doing a hell of a lot better. You know, because otherwise, you know what, Don, he's not going to. I know we're talking about Chelsea, but the way he's playing, I wouldn't pick him in the World Cup squad.
Oh no, bro, Rodgers starts ahead of him right now.
Morgan Rodgers,
No, I wouldn't pick him in the squad.
Rodgers starts ahead of him right now, man. But listen, we've got over 300 people here. Make sure that you lot are smashing up the lights. We haven't even got to 200 lights, people. So make sure that you lot are smash up the lights. I'll come to you then, Dubs. What's your take on Palmer right now, bro?
I was just gonna say Cole Palmer's one of them players, and this isn't me excusing him at all. I think Cole Palmer's one of them players because of what he's done, like in his first season and the start of last season. We set the expectations so high that when he's going on a bad form like this, it gets so noticeable. But if we're being really honest, like which players in the attacking areas have been better than him? Like, you're struggling, aren't you?
Well, this season,
in what sense?
Just like as of recently, we're talking about Palmer's form as of recent. In this recent run of form, who would you say has been a better attacker?
That's
they've been pretty inconsistent. They've been pretty inconsistent, bro. They've been pretty
scoring goals, but he's not playing well. That's the thing. And it's like Garnacho's not been playing well. Gittins hasn't been playing well. He doesn't play too much. Neto's been playing poorly recently.
Esteban when he's
played. The issue I have though, Jay, is that just because others haven't been better than him doesn't excuse the way he's playing.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm not excusing him at all. I'm just saying that's why Palmer's form gets noticed so much.
But what I said before for like a year and a half, he was playing very well, you know, and got all the plaudits and was happy, and people were happy to give it to him and take the plaudits and stuff like that. And now this is his own fault. He set the bar for us of what to expect from him. Okay, that's I don't want to say his fault. Sorry, he set the standard. Oh, that word standard. Sorry. He set the marker for himself.
Can't run from it.
He set the benchmark for himself, right? Yeah. Whether he's coming back from injury or not, he set the benchmark for himself. I'm not like expecting to dribble and do all the pass to everyone. Just simple passes. Even the simple passes, he's not doing well.
Bro, even against fucking Villa, bro, the first shot that he had on goal, like when I saw him shoot, I'm like, bro, do you think you're a ghost, bro? Like you're playing the fucking Prem against Villa. Man just shot at it like it's just gonna, like it's just, I'm gonna keep getting chance after chance like that. I'm like, brother, bring the ball down and bang it in. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think for me, Cole, it's the thing with him is when he knows his performance is not up there, then for me his game, from my opinion, he start chasing GA. Start chasing the assist, wants to be the one that makes the final pass, that wants to be the one that breaks the deadlock and whatnot. And like there was an instance yesterday when he was on the right, he got the ball, instead of just passing to Reece, and then Reece passing it to I believe Badiashile, and Badiashile passing it to Neto, he took the ball, ran with it, passed all those players, right? And it's just like, why are you marshalling the ball from the right all the way to the left winger? Like, just play simple. Pass it back to Reece, make a different run, or get into a space in the middle and occupy that and be more dangerous that way. So it seems to me that he wants to be, and you can't blame him. That is, as Andrew said, he set the expectation for himself that he's our go-to guy. He's our match winner. He's our, he's the one that unlocks things for us. When we can't find, we're looking a bit rigid. He thinks he's supposed to be the one that engineer the goal or the assist or whatnot. And so for me, sometimes it takes him away from, like, when he's playing freely, right? He's making, people in the Club World Cup, he's doing little thing, and you can just see he got a different swag to him. When he's struggling, it's not just like he's not getting goals or assists, but you can tell when his game is not there. He doesn't look like he's free for, like, you can see he's actually kind of forcing things on the pitch. And when he's forcing things on the pitch, they hardly ever come through. Like, we had to play him against Legia Warsaw last season to see if he can regain his confidence, right? So for me, you just need to just keep it simple, relax your game, trust your other teammates. If you make plays and you don't, it doesn't result into you getting an assist or a goal. Yeah, brother, we'll recognize, we know Palmer didn't get the GA, but he put it in an Eden Hazard type performance, right? Bro, you win the game, even though you don't get a GA. But for me, it seemed like Palmer trying to force the issue. When he's not playing well, he tried to force to where he gets a GA so that, he can at least, the numbers can look good even if his performance or not. Where he should be he just relaxes things. The performance is good.
Yeah.
The G will come with the performance, but you need to make sure the performance are good and keep it simple.
What's so annoying about it as well, is like start of this season, bro. In fact, even going back to obviously the Club World Cup, he played really well in there. See, he helped win us the final. He helped win us the Conference League and that as well. Bro, he started off this season well in the league. Yeah. Like coming off the bench against Brentford, he scored. The game against Bayern Munich, he had a very good game. Then obviously he gets injured. So right now, like, I know a lot of people have been crashing on him, but, you know, for me, he hasn't been good. But I'm still giving man benefit of the doubt in terms of the injury at the minute, because people are overdoing it when they're saying, oh, he's been poor for a year. Bro, Palmer's been poor in front of goal, I would say, like last season, right? For half of the season. But in terms of creativity, bro, him and Enzo were still up there. He was still creating chances. It's not his fault that Jackson couldn't finish, Madueke couldn't finish, Neto couldn't finish. He was still doing his job. Like him and Enzo, there wasn't a single duel that was creating more chances than them last season in the Prem. And they didn't even have 10 assists. You know what I mean, bro? So I can't blame Palmer for creating and someone missing. But what I can blame Palmer for is missing poor chances. You know what I mean? Being very laxy-daisy on the ball and just looking like he doesn't really care. You know what I'm saying, bro? So it's like, listen, Palmer, I think, will come good as the season goes on. But as it is right now, bro, he needs to fix up. He needs to fix up, man, because we're now halfway through the season and we are in 3 competitions, bro. Like, you know, when it comes to these comps, Couch, yeah? Palmer's got what, 8 GNA in the final. Yeah, we need some big performances from him against Arsenal, bro. Right? Because a lot of people call him world class. Yeah, we need some big performances against Arsenal. We need big performances from him against Napoli. Yeah, against Paphos. Right? He needs to start to drag this team, because that's what you're looking at. He's our talisman, bro. You know what I'm saying? We look at him as like our best attacker. So he needs to show it. You know what I'm saying, Couch? He needs to rise it, bro.
Yeah, I mean, everyone said more than enough on Palmer, but I just say this: I wonder if it's just his mentality, like the things that we applaud him for, like this cool nature under pressure, is now what has become an issue. Like he just has this laissez-faire approach to the game now, right? He's not really trying to take the game. He's not trying to like be the game. You know what I mean? He's just kind of the guy that's like floating through the game. So I don't know. Like maybe the managerial change will help. I don't know. Like, I just don't know anymore. Like it's not even like it's not even to the point where, you know, like you guys, I don't think it's like a poor run of form. Like I think it's been a long enough time now where it's become an issue, right? It's an issue. Like we're talking about even just beginning of this year into now, he's only given us maybe like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 good performances. You know, it's not like a consistent run of good form. So yeah, it's an issue. He's got to pick it up.
No, definitely, bro. Definitely, man. But listen, like I said, people, make sure that you lot smash up the likes. Let's get to 200 likes real quick, man. Over 300 people here. Me and Rants didn't even go live today, people. So there was no promotion whatsoever. So big up every single person that is here still. But we'll finish up with the predicted lineup for Wednesday. Let's not even do predicted, because we don't know what my man's gonna do. But let's go with what we think we should be doing going forward, right? Because man like Callum, I don't think he's gonna go to a back 3 again, but I don't know. I don't know. But let me come to you, Dubs. Let me come to you first of all, yeah. In terms of the defense, I think Sanchez will come back into the team. I think he was just away for 1 game, so I think Sanchez will come back in. How would you set up the defense?
I do Gusto right back. I do Fofana, and if Fofana's good back from illness, Fofana, Chalobah, and then I don't know if he's going to be back or not. If he's not back, if Cucurella, if he's back, but if not, play Hatter at left back. I want to see an actual left back at left back. Yeah, but yeah,
I think Cucurella should be back. Someone said he's in training.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yeah, so Cucurella, if he's not fit, then Hatter. But none of this Achimpong and Gusto rubbish. For me, it doesn't work.
Yeah, so Cucurella at the back, yeah. All right. How about you, Rob, in terms of the midfield, bro?
Caicedo's back, isn't it?
Yeah, he's back.
Caicedo, I know. Yeah, Reece has got to play in it. Reece got to be in there. And for me, Goose has got to be in there. And as much as this on merit, Caicedo, Reece, and then Enzo in the 10.
I agree.
So Enzo here.
Yeah.
What are you saying for the front three, Andrew?
It's been more effective. Yeah, go on.
I would go with Palmer on the right, Esteval on the left.
I think you might have forgetting that Santos had that performance, you know.
Yes, that's
yeah, but it's
you're also forgetting we have very limited options in midfield, essentially.
We have very limited option in midfield.
Yes,
Sugo's back in training now, isn't it?
Sugo's never had a single minute in the Premier League.
Yeah, but Sugo's never played for us before. We need these 3 points against Fulham.
Let's be
yeah.
And this is the tough one. I don't know. I'm gonna say Zhao, but it's
Nah, Delap, man. Let's start Delap.
All right, Delap, sure.
Yeah, for me,
I'll start Delap for this one. I'll start Delap for this game, bro. I want something different. I want to try something different, man. And especially how he came on as well, Andrew, bro. That's the Delap that I was watching. Not this Delap that looks like he can't even play football. That Delap was bringing the ball down nicely. He was turning with it, shooting. He was just doing the basics well.
Those defenders weren't really up on him, though. And I'd say this, too. I would say that we played on the counter, which is basically what he played all through his Ipswich time. Like, you're playing on the counter. So I think that helped him. Like, when the problems I have with the lap is when we're playing with, in front of, like, a packed out, like, defense, you know, and, like, with those spaces between defender and defenders, like 5 yards. Or something like that. He struggles in those areas. But when you give him space to run at teams, yeah, of course he's going to look good. That's what he does. You know.
I would just say, someone put in the chat, Esteban on the left, are you crazy? I'm benching Neto. This is now the 5th game in a row.
Yeah, I can't watch Neto
played
again.
well,
I can't watch Neto again.
And the other 2 options are shit. So I'm putting Esteban on there.
I'll be real with you. I do not. I know I put that midfield in there. I do not like that Reece Caicedo combo against a low block. Like when we face a low block, the ball progression is not as smooth. They get in each other's spaces too much.
No, I think Reece can progress the ball quite well though.
Yeah, you know, when we're building up and you know, I know Caicedo is very good at it, taking the ball in a half turn or whatnot. For me, yeah, that again, they have to. Reece has to play, Caicedo has to play. Enzo kind of has to play as well, and for me, Gusto has to play. But I think you're gonna be giving us something. That midfield for me.
Do we need to start both Reece and Gusto though? Like, do we need to start both of them? Because the moment that you do that, you're playing someone out of position.
Yeah, for me,
Reece. I know Reece has been all right in midfield, but
I don't think that you can consider Reece playing out of position anymore. Like, this guy's a footballer. You play him anyway, he's gonna give you top performance.
But to be honest as well, like
I hear it, bro. But
do you?
Go on, Dubs.
I was gonna say we got Charlton on the weekend. Like, if you're worried about resting him, can we not rest them, one of them there?
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
True.
That's a good shot. But my worry is just that it's not fluid. You talk about Couch talks about combination and chemistry between 2 players. I don't think that's the chemistry between Caicedo and Reece in the best of that midfield for me is not good enough. You saw it against Newcastle where the ball wasn't progressing at all, and I don't particularly like it. Even against Bayern Munich, it didn't work. I haven't liked it, and I'm not gonna like it anytime soon. It's either Reece or Enzo, Caicedo or Enzo. Reece, and if we're playing against a team like Man City, we're gonna play on the counter. Fantastic. But when we're gonna be, responsible for the majority of the possession in that game, for me, that base does not work.
I hear that.
So what are you saying then, Rob? Then what are you saying for the midfield? Then do you want to keep it like that, or do you want to put Reece back at right back? But then that means Enzo, Caicedo.
You know what? If one has to hold bench, you shouldn't be getting suspended. Caicedo, sit down for a minute.
Well, that's not going to happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but I can't be rewarding you for getting suspended, getting red cards every time you come back. You automatically sorry. I know he is elite, he's world class, but yeah, if one has to be benched, for me, I'll bench Caicedo right now, simply because of the disciplinary issues.
Listen, I don't like Enzo in the 10. Now, let me just get that right. I don't like him there in the 10, yeah. But if you're going to play Gusto like this, then ultimately what that means is that Palmer will be more in the half space like this, and then Gusto is going to be the one that's more kind of overlapping, right? That works a lot more. You know what I'm saying? So on paper, it might look like Enzo's in the 10, but really and truly, this way it ends up being. You know what I'm saying?
I don't necessarily view it as like a number 10. I view it more as like a more progressive number 8 to the point where we don't have to rely on him defensively. That's just the way. Yeah, it's not like an out and out number 10 where he's like.
That's exactly what it is. That's exactly.
It needs to be like this on the ball. The shape needs to be like this. That's what we need to do. It's what we need to do, bro. You know what I mean? But let's go prediction wise then, Dubs. Let's quickly go through. What do you think in terms of the prediction, bro? Chat, let us know your predictions as well.
I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I think we'll nick it 2-1, but I don't think it's going to be a pretty game. I'll be honest.
2-1 Chelsea, yeah. Who do you think's going to score?
I think Enzo will score again, and I think I'm saying Chalobah from a set piece.
Chalobah.
Big calls. Man's calling set piece too. I love it.
How about you, Rob?
3-1 Chels.
3-1 Chels, yeah.
Enzo scored, back-to-back games. I'll make it, third time is a charm. I think Delap bags one in this one. And the other one, I'll agree with Dubs. I think we score on a set piece on the corner. I don't know which is gonna be, but I think Enzo gets one, I think Delap gets one, and I think we score on the corner. With those wrist deliveries, those wrist deliveries are absolutely causing trouble to a lot of oppositions. But hopefully we can. For them.
How about you, Andrew?
A very unconvincing 1-0.
I think all of us will take any sort of W.
I don't see us keeping a clean sheet against Fulham, bro. One thing about Fulham, they're just an annoying, resilient team. They don't stop, bro. They don't stop. Even when they concede, they just keep going, bro.
I know. What's that player? The left footer is in top form right now.
Wilson.
I like Harry Wilson.
Yeah, Harry Wilson is
he's in my FPL.
That left foot of his, woof, boy.
Yep. He stung us at the bridge last season as well.
What about if my guy scores another screamer? Was it Reed?
Man like Reed.
Surely not.
Boy.
That's one a season, man.
That's one.
That's one in the season. Unless you read so Caicedo, that you get it coming back.
That's a once in a lifetime strike. He's never doing that again.
How about you, Couch? What you saying?
With
prediction, bro.
Oh, he didn't do him.
Chelsea win, or I know you don't do the score line, but what do you think? Do you think Chelsea are gonna win?
I need to see the lineup. It's hard to say, man. Like if we see the lineup that we just put out there, then I'd expect us to win. But there's no guarantees there at all that's going to be the lineup number one. So to make predictions based on that is just You ask me when the lineup comes out, and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, pretty much our entire squad is fit, bar obviously Lavia and Riva. Everybody is fit. Everybody is fit pretty much for this game.
Yeah.
We don't have any big game on the weekend. It's Charleston, so we should go with our strongest lineup for this one.
Says the man who wanted to bench Caicedo.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro.
If one had to get benched, I'm just saying you can't play with 12 men.
Contradiction. He's a walking. He's got our strongest lineup, but I want to bench Caicedo. I'll bench. What are we doing?
Let's finish up. Yeah, let's finish up with some of these super chats here as well. Big up TTM every time, my guy. Says, don't worry about Arsenal, man. The big red shark is lurking. Second half of the season, we're doing a title charge. We'll stop Arsenal for you. Hey, the way I see Amrim smiling today, bro, that's a man that knows he's hit the lottery. You know, now what is it, 12 million or something? 12 million man's got
for full payout. He's getting a full
man trying to convince me that Maresca just walked away from 14 million because he was so angry at Chelsea. He just left 14 million on the table because he's that mad. Now, Chels.
Oh, bro, Potter got like 12 million or something mad like that.
Yeah. Potter was getting mad bread.
Potter got a mad payout, bro. He even said it himself. He said, I don't even need to earn any more money from football. He said it, bro.
Weren't we still paying him just before he took over West Ham?
Yeah,
until he finds a new job, he gets paid.
I think he waited until the full payout from Chelsea before he went into management
when
again.
David Moyes was still getting paid years later after being fired from Manchester
United.
Like years later, he was still getting paid.
That's what I mean. See these managers, bro. The amount of money they get from getting sacked here, like even Mourinho. I'm pretty sure Mourinho made over 100 million.
Like 100+ million from getting sacked.
Do you reckon that's why so many managers speak out now? Because they know, rather than them just walking away, they know they're going to end up getting that.
Yeah, because they say just enough without being insulting. Because they can
but also clubs have wisen up to put clauses in their contract that obviously you're not going to get the full payout. Like if we sack you in after year 1 of your 5-year contract, it's not that we're going to pay you the remaining 5 years. There is going to be exit clauses. Break clause. Like Amorim, I think he dropped significantly after 12 months, right? After 12 months, it dropped significantly from what it could have been if he got sacked like 6 months into the job, or in the summer, for instance. After November, that was the first year, right? After November, I think his payout dropped significantly. So I think clubs have wisened up, and managers obviously like Mourinho's made mad bread from getting sacked.
Last time I checked, it was close to 100 million.
Made banks from getting sacked.
Bro, big facts. Big up C to the A as well. It says thoughts on the Telegraph linking us to Vinny Jr. for 125 million. All the Madrid fans. I think you got your reaction right there. It says all the Madrid fans.
Can I just say, even if we were under the old owners, I wouldn't want Vinny Jr. Let alone.
No, I don't want him.
I'm taking Vinny all day long, guys.
Not for this price. Not for this price. Impossible. No way.
No way.
Yeah, no, I'm taking Vinny for that price. I'm taking Vinny. But Vert
125 million for Vinny, bro. Are you mad? Nah, man.
Brother,
125 million for Vinny. You're smoking.
There isn't the best left winger in Europe than Vinny currently. I know he's not on form, but I don't think there's one.
Let's finish up, man.
I'd actually rather Kvaratskhelia, I'll be honest.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
100%, man. But Dubs, hey, big yourself up, man. Solid debut, bro. Let the people know where they can find you, man.
Oh yeah, where can find me? Twitter. It's Dubs25. That's the same as my TikTok handle. I am on YouTube as well. I haven't been active on there recently, I'll be honest, but I'm trying to get back into the habit. So yeah, that's where you can find me.
Big up, man. How about you, Rob? You got anything coming up this week, bro?
No, I'm just as always giving objective opinion on Twitter. That's
also you admit you do it on purpose.
It's nothing but objective. But objective.
Big up, man. Couch, you've got your review out as well. I see you put out earlier. Let the people know where they can find it, bro.
Yeah, it's here. It's YouTube, man. Couch Critic, you know what it is. I just did one for the Man City game. I'll probably do one when Rosenior gets announced, because I've been watching his games with Strasbourg, so I'll have something prepared for that. And then, if I have time, I'll get the Fulham one in as well.
Make sure you're checking that out, people, man. And Andrew, you got anything lined up this week, bro?
I think Chels has got a stream later about 9ish. Probably be on that, but probably be on the reactions for the Chelsea games on the terrace this week. Yeah. So unless like anyone does not emergency one, but when Rosenior gets signed up or something like that, Exactly. But more importantly, like and subscribe to this channel.
100%, man. And people, make sure that you're putting a little Don Raid in Jem's stream. I think Jem's still live right now. He's doing a match reaction on. He's like rebranded his channel now, so make sure that you lot.
Kings of the Bridge.
Kings of the Bridge is called now. Make sure that you're checking out the latest SDS episode as well, people. We filmed that one last night. That's out now as well, so make sure you're checking it out. I'm about to go to Baller Leagues, people, so I'm gonna go see what it's saying over there. The finals next week and whatnot. You know what I mean? But big up everyone that's been here, man. Bless, love.
Yeah,